Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. I see people jumping in. Let's do a test on the volume. Hope everybody can hear me. All right, here we go. 1 second here. Good check.
I can hear you, Keith.
All right, good, awesome, cool. Oh, I switched to a new microphone, and not a good time to do it before a class. You should always test these things. So,
Go big or go home.
all right, hi Tracy. Oh, it's good to see you. I'm gonna ask to unmute you because I would love to hear your voice. So I just asked to unmute you. So,
Wow.
okay, definitely. 2 words, movie.
What rock star am I?
What rock star are you? I would say there's a mix, a little Shania Twain.
Oh, I was going Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons. There you go.
You're Tracy. You don't need
Oh.
to be somebody else. You're all we need, Tracy.
Oh, okay. Look at her going for that pay raise.
Next week,
I got to prove that bonus.
Oh, you don't sign the checks, Tracy? Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, technically we can get away with it because you're not an employee. So, but you are, but you're not, but you are, but you're not. So I always mess with Nick about that. I was like, if I go to an ICA or independent contractor, I'm like, can I not get in trouble from human resources? No. I just want to say thank you so much. I look forward to the series of classes. I was happy that Tracy and I were able to get something together. I would love to do a class a month. Certainly we're going to do one for the now November, December. And then if you guys see the value in it, we want to keep rolling. I'm always open to feedback. Let's keep it going because while I would love to drive up to your area of town, I do know it's more efficient this way. So
this really is, Keith. And thank you so much. Yeah. Everyone, was emailed, multiple texts. I have a few agents at the doctor, many on an airplane right now going to visit others. So
nice.
Showing somebody's in Winslow. They're all over the place. So I told them I'd take copious notes. So good. We're so excited to advance.
And the good news is too, I am recording this. So once it's done, then I'll cut it. I'll put it onto my YouTube playlist. So you can always reference this after the fact. So if you got to get off the phone.
Wonderful.
Yeah. If anything, you got to miss something, take a phone call. Life happens. I get it. Truth be told, last month, I was starting the class and I had an unbelievable migraine and I had to end the class because I didn't want to throw up on video. So
I get it.
Life happens, but
I'm waiting for Cox internet to get here. So I do have
okay. Definitely, yeah. Don't you love the window they give you? We'll be there between 8 and 5. Okay, cool. Thanks.
1 to 3. I got 1 to 3.
Okay. Look at them getting all specific. So,
yeah.
All right, let me do this real quick. Let me share my screen with you. We don't have any sponsors, so we don't need to listen to anybody's spiel.
Ew.
Well, I'm sure we all got our people, so we don't need to hear from anybody else, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah, it happens.
If we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to. If I don't listen, we don't have to listen to what's great about you and all that stuff. We do appreciate our vendors, but sometimes let's just get to the show. So I'm gonna hit shit. I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna shave. I'm gonna share. And let's get right here for you. Okay, cool. So as you guys know, in full disclosure, I couldn't find my other slides, but if you see FMG, that's just my side biz. I do consulting on the side. I am not pitching you. I'm not asking you to subscribe or anything. I'm not selling you anything. I just I wear another hat. I do help consult small business owners. I've got a pizzeria. I have a doctor in Thailand. I've got a dentist. I've got a loan processor. I've got a merchant services. So, I've been doing my own thing for a number of years. Been with West USA. March will be 10 years. So I'm excited I think I may actually get my little 10-year plaque this year. I don't know.
You will?
Isn't that crazy? It's just been, wow. Yeah. So anyways, like the state or like the farmer's insurance commercial, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. So I'm happy to be here with you guys. Happy to help work with the Northern Mountain folks. Interrupt me. Unmute yourself, jump in the chat box if there's any questions you have while we're plugging along. I love to keep it fun and interactive. I don't like boring, mundane slideshows. I'm going to spend a few minutes in some slides and then we'll get into a real environment. But for you guys as real estate agents, Whether you're an agent, you're a dentist, you're a small business owner in general, having a listing, and when I say listing in this context for this afternoon's little quick class, listing means having a business listing on Google. So that is very important because Google still possesses and still has well over 80% of the market share of folks who are performing searches on a daily basis. Nearest restaurant, how to's, you name it. We're all taken to Google. Not a lot of people saying Bing this or Bing that. It's just become part of our vernacular. So much like Kleenex. So for you guys as real estate agents, if you already have a listing or you already have a business listing on Google, fantastic. If not, we'll fly through creating one real quick. But I do want to point out some things that have changed in the last few years. You may have heard it referred to as Google My Business. Google changed that a couple years ago. It's now Google Business Profiles. Not really sure why. Maybe the name changes. One thing's for sure, Google has tried many different things over the years in terms of social media platforms, all kinds of different offerings. We've had Buzz, we've had Google, we've had quite a few different iterations of social media attempts. I think they've abandoned having a social media presence. And what they've really done is put a lot of tools and analytics into being a business owner and really focusing on it from that perspective. I think at the end of the day, they've identified what their strengths are, what their wheelhouse is, and let's just embrace it. So for us as business owners, when we are creating a Google business profile, formerly known as Google My Business, this truly is just a online listing for your business in general. What you do, where you do it, the photos you upload, updates, anything that you have to share with your business, about your business or your potential customers. And so that's really why we're here today. And so I want to talk about that with you guys and help share with you some tidbits. Unlike if I were a restaurant owner or a retail location or an event hall, where a lot of my photography that I see on Google for my business is what we call user generated content. Your user generated content, the photography they upload, everyone's taking pictures of their food and their appetizers and their drinks and everything like that. And those are great. Those are all designed for us as consumers to use when we are doing reviews. For the most part, as real estate agents, we just don't have that luxury. We don't have foot traffic. We're not having people walking by and stopping in for some chips and salsa at Keats, real estate school. So, it's just the end of the day, a lot of what we share is going to have to come from us as a business owner. And so really that's why we're here, is to understand what we can do as a business owner to showcase what is great about us as an agent, what differentiates us from our competition, and really just creating the wow factor, right? What's great about you that maybe somebody else, another agent in your area, doesn't possess. And so here are some tools that are going to help you do that. Sorry. Yeah, so free dashboard, no cost whatsoever, no cost whatsoever associated. Now, Google's going to ask you to advertise. They're going to give you a free $500 gift card, coupon, voucher, whatever. They're going to entice you to run ads. It is very cost effective on Google because for most of us, we're dealing and we're running against national campaigns, larger brokerages, larger real estate companies that have bigger budgets. And so for us smaller individual agents, it's not often beneficial to spend a lot of money and not get much of a return. So when you go through creating your account, if it does ask if you'd like to take advantage of it, it's up to you. I usually ask everybody to skip that part, but we'll get to it and I'll showcase that for you. So no big deal whatsoever. Updating your content, managing your information, email address, phone number, your web address, your accolades, things that you do, things that you've accomplished. These are all great places. This is a great place for you to share all that content and for people to learn about you as a business owner. Number two here, so some major the key reasons why we're going to ask, or where I suggest for you, man, we just got a lot of people jumping in. I love it. Okay. The list just keeps going. A lot of the reasons why you as a business owner want to utilize Facebook. Number one, visibility. Again, we've already talked about how that's where everyone is going in order to find out more about a business. If I'm ever searching for a topic, an idea, a suggestion, naturally Google's going to be the number one. Your second largest search engine is going to be YouTube because Google owns YouTube. So naturally, if you have any video components or any video that you're putting out as a real estate agent, and you have a YouTube channel, those are all tied together and they're all very relevant. So keep that in the back of your mind. If you haven't explored utilizing YouTube as a YouTube channel, maybe you've been to a class, someone's mentioned it, you've dabbled with the idea, really revisit it, because it is another enhancement to your ability to share what's great about you with your clients. And so those two work well together. Naturally, videos are a big component to searches because video is one of the best forms of media communication. 95% of the message is retained when we're utilizing video. And so highly encourage that as well. You as agents, we're hyper local, hyper niche. Really, we're not worried about people performing searches for us outside of the state or from other states unless they're an out-of-state investor. Those are rare and unique opportunities. For the most part, if I'm somebody who is performing a search for a real estate agent, the number one keyword phrase behind real estate agent is near me. Restaurants near me, Italian food near me, bookstore near me. Near me is the largest search term, two words that follow the main topic category of the business that the person is performing the search for. So for us as real estate agents, being able to show up in those near me searches is important. And so that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today as well. Number two, one of the big things on there, well, actually number three, is reviews. Over the years, I've had a lot of agents talk about, should I have a review done on Realtor or Zillow, Realtor.com, Zillow.com, Facebook, Google. I think whichever website has the most traffic, I think that's where your reviews should live. And so I'm in big encourager of those folks, or folks telling you to drive your reviews to your Google reviews page. Now, there are some third-party services out there that will simulcast your reviews as they come in. That's fine, not a problem whatsoever. Is that something you want to subscribe to? That's something you want to be a part of? As a review comes in, we're not asking our clients, okay, here's a link to Facebook, here's a link to Zillow, here's a link to Realtor. That's going to turn a lot of people off, and I totally get it. So if one of those third-party applications works well for you, by all means, take advantage of it. It will knock out a lot of your review areas in one swoop, which is really nice. So providing detailed information about your business is important. And of course, the last one there is just integrating with Google services. So their maps, their searches, posting, tracking, engagement, inquiries. If someone's performing a search, we can see what words they're using when they're finding you. But really the big one is the Google Maps. When we are creating our Google listing, we will choose service area as opposed to a physical branch location. Per Google's terms and conditions, no one is allowed to take ownership of a physical brick and mortar location unless you are in fact the owner and authorized to make decisions for that business. Now, if you have it a different way, that's fine. We will go through changing it. It was once previously taught a different way, so we're all having to adapt because they have rolled out new rules, new policies. But it's advantageous for you 100%, because what you will do is you will appear in a wider search result, as opposed to somebody who says my brick and mortar location is here on the corner of 123 Main Street. If I say this is where my business is, my search results are not going to be very, very large. They're only going to show for people who are near me or within a 10, 15-mile radius. If we're somebody who services a larger area, then service areas is the best way to go, much like Terminix or Roto-Rooter or a website design company, where we really don't have a traditional brick and mortar geofenced area. We want to appear as in a widest search as possible. And so that's what we'll cover when we're talking about creating our profiles. So again, formally, back up, hit one there. Okay, so getting started, really easy to do. If you already have a Google business profile, two big things to remember here. One, if you have not created one, make sure you're logged into your browser with the Gmail account that you want this business associated with. So if you've got, like me, Go Fighting Irish, big Notre Dame fan here, Go Fighting Irish at Gmail, while it's a personal address and not really one I use for professional, I don't want my business tied to that Gmail account. However, I may have one that's, Flynn Media Group or West USA or whatever that business Gmail account is. We want to make sure we're logged into that specific Gmail account before we create our business, because it will forever be tied together and you cannot change ownership. It would require you to completely delete, remove, close the business, and we wouldn't want to miss out or have any reviews that disappear. So that's important to remember. So we have had some folks who are like, "Oh, I created it. It was tied to this Gmail account. I wasn't really paying attention. I don't have any reviews." And so that's the easy fix. We're really just going to abandon that one and we're going to move on to something, a Gmail account that's more appropriate for this business. So just keep that in mind as we go along. I'm going to go through these slides real quick and then I'll replicate them again in a real environment for you. So don't feel like you're missing anything. And these slides can tend to be out of order because Google likes to change things on me quite a bit. But we'll cover the bases here and then we'll get going. And I do see someone did jump into the chat and had a question. Does it always have to be a Gmail email? 100% yes, because it is a Google product. They want your Gmail to be tied. Now, if you're using their workplace, so let's say I buy a domain, in this case, Flynn Media Group, I subscribe to Google's workplace products. So everything that I use for my business, Gmail, storage, calendar, all has a @Flynn Media Group domain, but I pay for that. So I'm using Google's workplace offerings, their platform, but I have it associated to my Flynn Media Group. You may be able to get away with it in that respect. I just haven't created one tied to Flynn Media Group yet. Oddly enough, it's tied to my Go Fighting Irish, so I could never fit. That's a one I learned a long time ago. I should not have created it under that one because I can never change it. So it lives there. It is what it is. No one else sees it. But yeah, a Gmail account is important because it is part of the product offering when it comes to creating your profile. So easiest thing to do when we go to log in to create an account, business.google.com/create. We're going to search. It's going to ask us to search for the name of our business. Now, if we've never created one, we know one doesn't exist. Still wants us to go through the formality of actually typing in the name there and performing a search for our business. If it doesn't exist, we're going to add your business to Google based on that name search. Now, one of the important things to remember for the name of your business, just like Facebook, just like any of your other social media platforms, it's first, last name, dash or hyphen, and then the brokerage. So West USA Realty, KW, My Home Group, whatever your brokerage is, we want to identify yourself first and then your brokerage. That way it doesn't confuse the consumer and we don't get any negative reviews for somebody, property management or something that didn't really belong to us, but they thought they were, dropping that review off at a brokerage standpoint. So we want to make sure we have our first name, last name as it appears on your license. I know our commissioner right now is pretty black and white, and so she does ask that we have it be our first and last name as it appears on our license. Unless you've gone through the name authorization or application thing, that's fine, no problem whatsoever. But your first and last name and then your brokerage on there. Next one's going to be your category. So when we're choosing our category, we're going to start to type in the word real estate. When we do, we get a lot of drop-down options. Real estate agent is the number one choice, third one there for you. Lots of other options when it comes to agency, developer, school, consultant, and so on. But real estate agent typically is the most common one we should choose in that respect. Next one here, you got two options for you. These are a little bit out of order, but then here's the example on your right. What's the name of your business? Keith Flynn, West USA Realty. And then it's going to ask me, will my customers have a location to visit? Is there a physical brick and mortar location to visit? Now, yes, if you invite them into, Pine Top or Fountain Hills or, any of the branch locations, in theory, yes, you do have a place for them to visit, but you're not authorized to make decisions for that property listing. And so what we want to choose is no. We want to make sure that we choose no for you cannot visit the office. What that does is not give you a physical address that is listed online for folks to find, but what they will find is your business is in existence and it will have a service-based area. And I'll show that to you in a slide that's to come. Now, what it will ask you to do, though, is still provide an address, but this will be for your mailing address. Your mailing address is only going to be private between you and Google, and it will not be listed publicly. Won't have anybody showing up at 2 a.m. asking to see a home. But what you will have is a connection with the business and Google. They'll know where to send literature, information, marketing materials of that nature, should they need to reach out to you. The next one there is when you choose you do not have a place to visit, it will ask, okay, great, where do your customers, or where do you serve your customers? Where can they expect you to be in business? On the right hand side, the default's Manhattan, New York. That's fine. Just type over that, start to type in the word Phoenix. You'll see it'll start to auto populate keywords based on Phoenix. Select Phoenix, Arizona. Then go ahead and do the same for Glendale, Scottsdale, Pine Top, Stafford, wherever you service. Enter in those cities. It is a bit tedious in the beginning. I do apologize, but once it's done, you're done for that. You don't have to worry about going in there unless you change things or adding any. But you will enter in your cities one at a time and hit next when you're all done. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Real easy to do. It's one of the things about Google is they've consistently left it minimalistic over the years, which is really nice. Facebook's dashboard, back end, you name it, is trash at times. It's annoying and frustrating. I would have abandoned Facebook a number of years ago if it wasn't for what I do. They just can't seem to leave things alone. And so it's unfortunate and frustrating because they're always changing. And every time I teach the class, it's different. But Google, for the most part, has only made two major changes in the last 2 years. And one of them is bringing the dashboard as a business owner out to the front side of the page. So what you're seeing here is a screenshot of my business on Google. It's dark because I was in dark mode at the time I created the slide. For most of us, it'll be white. But at a glance, you can see on the right-hand side, I've got some photos uploaded there under Flame Media Group, and then just to the right of that is a loose circle of my service areas around Phoenix and the greater, and the other serving cities in the area, so Scottsdale and Buckeye and whatnot. And so depending on what cities you enter in, those lines will change. Your circle can get bigger or smaller, really based on where you want to service. And so that's just a nice little snippet. That's what they call a snippet of your business on the right-hand side. Takes you right into your photos, takes you right into your mapping, so you can see what service areas you provide, your reviews, and then all the other information like your website, phone number, number to call, Q&A, and so on. What we have here on this dashboard is what you and I would see as business owners. This is not necessarily a reflection of what our consumers would see. They would see more of, your homepage, your about page, your website breakdown, and as well as then any information on the right-hand side. Now, I'll show you again when we get into a live environment here more of this, but when creating your page, this is pretty much the nuts and bolts of it here once it's created. There may be some additional questions that you're experiencing when you're creating your account, like, do you want to add a website? Do you want to add WhatsApp in order to connect? There are some additional cost associated features that Google will offer to you. Just skip those, ignore those. Really what we're doing is we're striving to get to this page here, which shows our business on Google and all of our information as far as editing the profile itself. Any questions for you guys? You can say, oh, Trace got one. Is it easy to edit my profile as needed? It absolutely is. And we'll talk about that. I'm almost going to jump into a live environment real quick, but before I do, I just wanted to talk and share with you guys a little bit about paid and organic. For those of you who know, paid content is whenever we spend money to buy eyeballs to drive more traffic, or Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, they will share our content with more folks who may or may not be following us in order to get more attention on our content. Social media in general over the years has created a pay to play business model. In the early days of social media, I could have 1,000 followers following my business. If I were to post a coupon or a holiday special, for the most part, a lot of those followers are going to see my content in their news feed. As audiences have grown, as businesses have gotten bigger, we have thousands and millions of people following our business. It really has created a challenge for the social media platforms to decide what content to put in the main feed. And so those 25, 30 bits of information that we see in our feed when we first log on to our phone, in the morning, in the waiting room, behind the wheel of the car, as we're scrolling through social media, these social media platforms are challenged with, hey, based on what we know about this person, their demographics, their interests, performance, the searches they've performed, the videos that they've watched, the photos they've clicked on, all of our actions that are being performed on social media are being watched. And that is helping them to build a demographic behind who we are, what we do, and what interests us. It's important and advantageous for these platforms to learn as much as us as possible, because they want to keep us on these platforms longer. The longer we stay on, the more ads we see, the more engagement, the more the marketers will see a return on their investment. The more ads Facebook can service, the more money they generate. This is why traditionally, or at the end of the day, they're just one of the largest marketing companies in the world. So it's kind of a very delicate mix of, we want to encourage great content from our marketers. We want to do what we can to keep our consumers on the platform longer so that they can serve more ads and make more money. And so not only as a marketer, as a business owner, is it important for you to put out quality content, but they want you to also spend money, which I don't think you necessarily need to do, especially as a small business owner. But we're in a unique situation as real estate agents where we can educate our audience and really share high value content that will help grow our content organically. And when it comes to organic traffic, really that is just not paying for it, but putting stuff out that's good enough that makes people stop, read, consume, share, like it, add to it, email it in a direct message, share with mom and dad, tag their cousins in it. Though that kind of content, that kind of organic traffic is really what we're trying to do. We don't have to spend money, but yet it helps us grow our audience at scale when we have great content. And being agents, we can empower, we can entertain, we can educate, we can really do a lot to inform our audience and create that bond with them before they know they have a need. And that's really what the goal is for us as marketers. So some strategies for you guys before we get into a live environment, some strategies for you to enhance your profile. Number one, high quality photography and video. Can't stress this enough. This is a very highly visual industry. You guys know first impressions are everything. And so when we're putting video and content out onto our business listings, as in Google, we want to put our best foot forward. So make sure you're curating great photography, awesome exterior photos, backyards, remodeled kitchens, before and after photos, any photos of you working with your clients, staged photography, branding photography. Those are all going to really go well and really help push you and your business, especially when it comes, because this is real estate. And so visuals are very important. It's a natural marry for the two products. Regularly updating your business information. Tracy asked that question. We're not going to always go in and change our phone number unless we have some stalker issues, but that's another conversation. Really what we want to focus on is updating your event, like what's happening with you, what's happening in your market, what's fun, new listings, businesses that are coming and going, and any inside information that you may have that no one else has yet. The in the know agent is highly coveted. So if you've got an agent who knows what's happening before everybody else, naturally you're going to have a lot of people always reaching out to you because they know you're in the know, you know what's happening, and that's great content to share. And then with that, the last one, posting events, updates. There is a tab now for business owners to share those updates and to share those open houses, and we'll talk about that here in just about a second. So when I talk about updating often, one of the main reasons why we do update often, or we want to encourage you to, and Facebook or Google also encourages you to as well, is increase the visibility. If I'm a business owner and I create an account, I upload a logo, my hours of operation, cost of a menu if I'm a restaurant or whatever, and I don't ever come back and do anything else with that listing, it's a dormant listing, I am not going to outrank someone else who has a similar business, who updates often, updates photos, puts out open house information, really works their account. And so you will be rewarded by Google for having a highly visual, high quality, professional looking business page, as opposed to someone who just kind of sets it and forgets it. They don't do anything with it. We have, well, restaurants and retail venues, I know I ever talked about this, they have the luxury of having their own customers upload this stuff. We don't. So we're going to have to do this. And this is why I recommend setting a calendar reminder once or twice a month to upload 3 or 4 photos or 5 photos of, either what you've been doing, what you've been up to, fun contest you ran, holiday food drive, water food drive or water drive, something about you that's unique. Be consistent with that content on your business listing, because that will tell the algorithm that you are an active business owner, and you will benefit from someone who just doesn't do anything with their listing at all. Last one there is engaging your content, encouraging your customers to engage with you in any content you may have on your listing, asking questions, getting them to jump in there, linking them to your other social media, all great relevant plays for you. And then here, last one, what it means for you ranking. Again, higher search results. So if I'm an agent with 5 5-star reviews, and there's an agent with no reviews and they haven't uploaded any photos, I can benefit because I've been active. I'm going to show up in a search result when someone looks for an agent near me, as opposed to someone who doesn't do anything with their account whatsoever. Again, remember, Google wants the experience to be positive and informative for their customers. So they're going to naturally share an agent's information who is active and informative and has great photos than someone who doesn't have anything. It's not good for them, not good for the business owner. So they want to naturally reward you when it comes to the content you're putting on there. Fresh content, updates, anything at all that you may want to share behind the scenes, fun stuff like that really does make a difference. And it gives them an opportunity to learn more about you. Likability is huge. Seeing a video of you working with clients or giving a walk and talk, that really does speak volumes about who you are as an individual. And it gives those customers a chance to learn a lot about you while you're asleep or doing other things, working, doing all those life events. Video is a very powerful component, and Google does encourage that as well. And that last one there is obviously showcasing your expertise and just really highlighting your market statistics and what it is that you do, opposed to your customers or to your competition. Do you recommend daily posting content? Yeah, Tracy, it's a great question. I wouldn't say daily. You could leave daily for Facebook and Instagram. Those tend to be more beneficial. One of the things about social media, anything to do with digital advertising, it's all geared on an algorithm, right? It's all artificial intelligence, AI. What are those data points that the platform is looking for that's going to give me the best value when it comes to someone engaging with my content? Consistency is a big one. It's different though for everybody. Facebook would prefer consistency every day. Instagram would prefer consistency every day. Instagram would say, we want a post in your main feed, 3 stories, 1 reels, and a lot of professionals would tell you that that's some level of a secret sauce in all that mix. Google's pretty straightforward. Just update your content, put a couple photos over there once, twice a month, set yourself a reminder. I don't think you need to be there on a daily basis, but monthly I think is good. Maybe every other week, upload 2 or 3 photos of what's new with you. Tracy, as a branch owner, maybe an event inside or having some guests in, decor during the holidays, maybe we're decorating the front office, little things like that from an actual brick and mortar location. For a lot of agents, then maybe it would be you out and about doing something fun, parking lot trick or treat event, best Halloween decor in the neighborhood. Maybe you're trying to farm a neighborhood, trying to get in with the families, drop off your flyer at the door, let them know that you're doing a Halloween decorative contest, let them know where they can find their photos. You're just going around taking shots, do something fun like that. Lots of opportunity there for you, for sure. When you are a Google business profile owner, one of the biggest things that we already talked about are reviews. I cannot stress this enough. Reviews are awesome for you here. They do provide you with a custom link that you can send out to your clients to encourage them to give you a review. We'll talk a little bit about tactics here in a second, but asking for reviews is a huge one. I don't do it enough. Even though that last slideshow said I have 1 review, I technically have 2 now, so I have stepped up my game. Somebody who preaches it enough, I don't ask for enough reviews, and it's certainly something that I want to focus on for the new year. They do make a difference because they are verified reviews. They really can't be fabricated. And if they are often detected by Google as being fake reviews and they're filtered and removed. And so if you're seeing a review, chances are it's legit and it was done by somebody who truly had interaction or worked with that customer or that business. So those are always good pluses there for sure. For reviews, cannot stress that enough. Even go as far as to create yourself a little template. We'll talk about Chat GPT here, AI in a second. I'm also gonna do a class soon, but I won't get too deep into it. But if you want to have AI, Chat GPT, let them know, hey, I'm a Google business profile owner. I want to increase my reviews for the new year. Please write me an email template thanking my past customers for our time together and let them know that I'd love for them to give me a review on my Google business profile. Here's the link. It'll be custom to your page. And then ChatGPT will put something together for you real simple. We can keep it formal, informal, funny, sarcastic, educational. You can really choose the tone on how you want that email to be written. But get yourself a template and then just archive that so you always have something to go to. All you need to worry about is just changing the first name out, sending that off to your client, and then now they've got a chance to do a review for you. When you are creating and asking for these reviews, keep in mind with these reviews, they're an awesome opportunity for you to tell more of your story. We always don't, when we ask for a review, we don't have to rely on the review just to be, that's it. Like what they said is bond, and then there's no other additional way for us to add to it. You can. When you receive reviews, Google will send you an email to your inbox, letting you that someone has know that they have performed a review. And I highly encourage you guys to get in there and respond to those reviews, both positive and negative. But specifically for the positive, let's get away from the real, hey, thanks a lot, appreciate the review, great working with you. That's it. One of the examples I give here is responding to the review and then thanking them, for your time together. And then you may be able to mention some additional information about your experience with the customer that they may not have shared. Remember, they're giving you a review. You're thinking about it from a referral standpoint. So this is an awesome opportunity for you to soft sell your expertise and skills and what your interaction was with that customer. So maybe you help them with your negotiating skills, or maybe after a few words of encouragement about decluttering, deneutralizing, depersonalizing a home, it was only then that you receive, multiple offers, two over ask, one all cash. Share some of those problem solving opportunities or skills that you displayed during the course of your relationship with them in your response when you thank them for the good review. It's a soft way to sell yourself. It's natural and it doesn't feel so salesy. Now, of course, if it's a negative review, 100% want to respond to those. And I have an acronym there that I like to share. I learned this one back in my days at American West Airlines. HERE, which is hear, empathize, apologize, and take action. It's called HEAT, not here, HEAT is the acronym. We actually had a what do you call it, a hostage negotiator who came in and worked with a lot of the quality assurance people. I was the guy who took irate calls in the middle of the night when someone was pissed off and they want to talk to the supervisor. So as you can imagine, people are very button pushing. And as a 19-year-old, navigating a conflict resolution was a challenge for me. So one of the things I learned, which I thought was awesome, was, hey, I totally hear what you're saying, and I can understand how that would be a frustrating situation for you. And I just want to apologize on behalf of American West Airlines. What I would like to do, though, is take you offline, ask you to email us here or call me so we can resolve the issue and get a better understanding of what exactly happened and how we can resolve the situation. What I've done is I've told my customers that I am aware of my online reputation. I care. And I've offered a solution as is to take the conversation offline. We don't want to go back and forth in a line or in a forum where everyone can read it. I've seen that happen before. I've had some small business owners who were a little confrontational, and so I advise them not to do that. Acknowledge the complaint, get it offline, resolve it there, and then be done with it. So that's one big things I want to point out for you guys when it comes to reviews, both positive and negative. Couple other examples here for you, showcasing specific success stories. Client leaves a great review, copy and paste those reviews and add those to your social media content. Um, Canva has some amazing templates, 5 stars, grab one for reviews. I'll show you here in a second if you would like to look at one. 5-star review, put the headshot of the person who gave the review, maybe give them a heads up, let them know that you're going to share it as a social media post, Facebook, Instagram. Copy a few lines from that review, brand that piece to yourself. Maybe it's you in the corner, your name, your phone number, call me at. If you or someone you know is looking to purchase a home in the next 6 months to a year, love to help as well. You can always repurpose your reviews from any of your platforms onto your social media, and that includes Google. While you can't go onto Google and actually replicate or mimic a review from another platform, you can include it as an update, almost like a social media post, and those all live and they're visible for your consumer to see. So certainly a great play for you as well when it comes to that. Okay, before I get in live environment, I just want to plug next month's class, Wednesday, November 13th, AI for Realtors. We're going to get into AI and just really talk about why it exists, what it can do to help you enhance, fill in a lot of those holes, maybe rework some of your marketing materials, your approaches, your advertising efforts. If you're a new licensee, AI has been awesome. Can role play with you, set the scenario, prompt it to ask you questions to further feel comfortable having conversations with AI so that when you get into a real world, you're putting your best foot forward and you sound like a great, knowledgeable agent. And so we'll cover a couple cool tactics on that and social media creation next week on November 13th. And the link will be on westusacalendar.com. So, all right, let's exit out of that real quick. Any questions? No, we're good. Right on. Okay, let me get into 1 second here and go to Facebook. Let's go. Give me a second here. From your Gmail account, whenever you guys are in your Gmail, as you can see, I've got 4 different ones here, got a lot of stuff going on. When you get into your Gmail account, your upper right hand corner here, you've got these little dots, these 9 little dots. That's called a waffle. That's a developer term. They call that a waffle. It's a drop down for a navigation menu. In there, you will see the business profile manager tab. If you already have a business created, you would just click on that and that will take you to your business listing and easy to find if you need to make any edit. What's a good AI site to use? Wow, that's a loaded question, Liz. What specifically would you like artificial intelligence to do? We've got everything from cloning your voice, cloning you as an avatar. We've got virtual assistants. We've got AI that will make videos for you, make graphic design. I will actually run through some really cool sites that agents are utilizing in order to enhance their business on that class. But one that I have found pretty fascinating right now is called, let me see here, here it is. Let me drop this over here on this side for you. So Synthesia is a AI artificial platform that has a lot of different cool things that it can do. Editing video, creating video content. What I've been seeing a lot of agents do is utilizing an avatar to narrate their walk and talks. And what they'll do is they'll place that avatar in the bottom left corner of their walk and talk around an open house. And that AI avatar will talk about all the amenities. If you can type up all those descriptions, emotive content, beautiful North Scottsdale home, entertainer's delight, brand new pool, recently remodeled gazebo, backsplash, whatever and however you want to say it, this AI avatar will read it as if they're narrating and giving your audience a walk and talk through the home. Now, this has been awesome for a lot of agents because over the years, one thing I've learned, you all don't want to be on camera. A lot of folks just don't want to be on camera, and I get it. It's very vulnerable. We're all very critical of one another. Everyone's concerned about how we sound or we look. Trust me, nobody cares. We're so conditioned now to not expect a lot of glitz, glamour, and the lights. And, if we're old school TV folks like me, I'm 50 years old. So I remember when everything was a production. And now we just got people turn on cameras, and sometimes when they shouldn't be, but we've got folks turn on cameras if and whenever they want. So the cool thing about Citicia is the platform offers a lot of really cool solutions on video templates, creating how-tos, and everything down from AI avatars to voice cloning. Here we go. This one's really cool. The Rubinos use this for their luxury division videos. They've actually had a lot of success with it. But you can choose any number of artificial voices that will then read what you type, or you can read from a script 30 seconds to a minute. It will record your voice, and then any written word that you give it will sound like you. And it's getting better and better and better. It's really wild. And now we've even got folks who are taking their AI avatars, uploading themselves a single headshot like one of these guys, and AI is now able to replicate and manipulate the mouth movements to match the words. So yes, it's you. Yes, it's your voice, but it's technically not you. It's all been artificially generated. So really cool tool. That's my number one, I would say, lead with. We'll talk a little bit that more next week, but that's a fun one to use. Canva's got AI baked into it now. We're starting to see Canva do some really cool stuff with artificial intelligence, creating graphics, logos, images, and so on. All right. I'm going to take you around the horn here real quick on Flynn Media Group. AI is a huge rabbit hole. Yeah, sure is. I've spent a lot of time down in that rabbit hole. There's a lot to it. ChatGPT is still my go-to. I have truly embraced asked it questions from tax advice to camera settings. I'm a bit of a novice photographer myself. I've got some nice equipment, but I don't want to read a blog sometimes. I don't want to sit through a 12-hour video on how to do something and have to jump cut to where I need to find. I tell it, hey, I'm going to shoot my son's football game outdoors, full sunlight. I got a Canon 80D with a 200 millimeter lens. I would not want to shoot in auto mode. I want to shoot manual. What are some presets that I should set my camera to as a good start off, and then work from there? And it really breaks down where it's at on the menu, how to use it. And I really get to learning, as opposed to spending my time reading through someone else's, travel to Italy and how this was the camera that worked best for them. So AI really has helped out in that respect. So don't ever think you can't ask it something. It is wild what you can ask it and the amount of information you get from it as well. So your bio, right? Here's a great example. So under your business listing, under edit profile, one of the things that Google or the Google Business Profile is going to ask you is a description of what your business does. For a lot of folks, especially if you're new, you may not have a lot to share. We could be fun and say something like, it feels like it's been 5 years, but as a new licensee in Arizona, what motivates you? Why you sell homes? How long do you get into it? What have you done? Any accolades? Any accomplishments? You can have ChatGPT write your description for you. Remember, the most important thing when it comes to AI is the more input you put into it, the better the output. Don't withhold any information unless it's personal information. We don't want to share that, but there are some guardrails in place that will stop it from sharing social security numbers and things like that. However, tell it everything about you that you want it to know so that it can help you craft a braggadocious type post about you and your business. As you see here with your business profile, we can edit the name. If you do a simple name edit change, it usually takes about 30 minutes. You may or may not have to verify again. It really depends on your profile. Business category here is listed as marketing agency for you guys. That'd be real estate agent. Your description, date of operation or when you started your business, contact information as well. Now, Instagram, Google does not provide a place for you to put your email address. Their whole goal is to drive traffic from your Google business listing on to your other areas. So social media platforms, your website, phone number, and so on. Here you'll notice under social profiles, we can add more of our social profiles. So if I wanted to go, Flynn Media Group is also on Instagram, then I would come over here, www. dot Instagram.com/Flynn Media Group, which I'm surprised I haven't done. And it's safe. And what that'll do is it'll drop in the link to my Instagram account. We can do that to Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, wherever you have a social media platform. Be sure to add those in. And as you can see, it takes a few minutes to pen and line up. Oh, Elaine, sorry, I missed yours. Can you provide your contact information again? I missed it. Yes, my email address is keith@westusarealty.com. And then most of my social media handles are Keith Flynn. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, you name it. I'm in all your closed groups. So if you ever see me posting in there, I do apologize. I can be a bit noisy considering that's my role here at West USA is sharing corporate announcements. But yeah, please email me if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to help out, jump on a call for you guys. Continuing on your business information, you can see service areas there. So I've taken the time to list all those service areas. That could be a lot more, can be completely different. Just it really depends on what you want to do. Hours of operation, 8 to 5. Like most agents, 24/7. You can change those as well. Special hours, so if there are set holidays that you are closed, be sure to add those in and they will reflect on your profile listing as well. And then other information that may or may not relevant to our industry, such as hours, the services you provide, breakfast, brunch, dinner. Again, I'm not a restaurant, so those are irrelevant. If I want to add more about my business, I can add in some additional information. They've added a lot of new stuff that we can add to enhance our profiles. Again, completely up to you and different for everybody. So be sure to go through those and take a look at them. Your crowd friendly type crowd that you serve, planning, whether you are appointment only or walk-in services, and of course, all your services, everything from language assistance to appointment setting, just lots of really cool questions there that are relevant. So if maybe you're part of our international division, Chinese, Canadian's English, but any of our international divisions, if you do speak another language, be sure to earmark that since it will show up in your profile as well. All right, cool. Take a drink of water here real quick. So for you and your profile, most importantly, if you have not been verified yet, you will not show up in a search result. So we want to make sure that our account has been verified. You'll know because if you haven't, it'll say get verified up here under your profile strength under complete info. Hopefully for you, verification simple, phone number, and then they'll give you a code online. You shouldn't have to shoot a video or walk through any of the branch locations. Again, we're choosing service areas. And so for us, as you can see here on the map, once I've plugged in all those cities, this was a very loose circle that I got as a geographical area that I service for my business. And then your photos would live over here under your photo tab. Great example of not a lot of folks are going to be posting photos of my classes under my profile. So these are all business owner. You can tell by owner here. I've uploaded these photos over the years from different classes and different speaking events. And again, I'm guilty. I have not uploaded it or updated it recently, and I probably should with some cool photos. But as you can see there, class sizes over the years, pre-COVID, sure do forget those days. Everyone's in attendance. Everyone's having a good time. But this is what I would recommend for you guys, going in there once or twice a month, uploading a couple photos before and afters, working with clients. And if you're not busy, you don't have a listing, grab a family member, friends, colleague, go into one of their conference rooms, take a couple stage shots, throw some papers on the desk, act like we're having a little bit of negotiation, have someone take some photos. But no one needs to know the wiser. Branded marketing shots are very customary for every industry. There's no reason why we can't do it as real estate agents. And I even know some agents who go into new builds and bring their selfie stick or a tripod and take a couple photos near the island, pretend to be showcasing this beautifully staged home. Of course, give credit to the builder if they ask, for sure. So a great example there of your photos for your listing. Let me back out here for you real quick. And 1 second. All right, your photos. So again, all of your blue icons here are going to hover over those. they'll display that you can edit them. If I'm going to update or add an update right here on my right-hand side for my snippet, obviously I have my information, my website, my reviews, phone number, and then down here is any activity. So, here's some recent updates. If I want to add a new update, I can. Upcoming class. Let's just give you an example here. I can click on add an update. I can select a photo. We'll go to my documents or my downloads here, and I will upload the class for next month. Now, let's just say this is a listing or, before and after photo or something fun that you're doing for a neighborhood. Maybe it's a spotlight piece on a teacher from an A+ school or small mom and pop restaurant. Take a picture of their number one menu item and, or order it. And then you can give a little critique, neighborhood mayor, you're the expert in the area. You visit the places that people can when they live in there. But add a photo, I'm going to put in here upcoming AI class for realtors. And don't have the link, but I can drop that link in here real quick and see. 1 second here. And I grab that link and I will add a button. So here I've got learn more, or I could hit sign up and I'll drop the link in there. So maybe if you want to do an open house or you're showcasing a new listing, or you just want to brag about just closed or whatever, we can drop in a button, add a button that's relevant. Learn more is pretty common. Call now, sign up. If you choose to go with an event, this could be an open house. I'll put in the link there to sign up for the class, upcoming AI class for realtors in Phoenix. I'm just going to Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix. Okay, I can type that. All right, there we go. And then I'll hit post. And what that'll do is I'll post as an update to my profile once it's approved. This post is pending and should be published soon. So typically their AI will crawl it, make sure there's nothing inappropriate, no profanity. And then I have, there's all your listings or all your updates. If I wanted to add an event, this is a great tab for open houses. And maybe you got an interior shot of a listing, the title, 123 Main Street open house, the date it starts, the time, the end date and time. So, 3-4 hours later on that same day, and any information about the listing itself. We don't want to put too much, but we want to put enough to entice them to visit. And then we can have the learn more tab go out to the MLS listing, or if they want to learn more about the open house. But then that open house would then live over here in the right-hand side. I'm going to close this out under my updates. We'll refresh that. There you go. So that's how fast it happens. I literally just put that up here. So here's an update coming. So if someone were to visit Flynn Media Group, see what's happening. Oh, he's got a class coming up on this particular date. I'm going to go ahead and hit sign up. And that would take me to the registration page. So wherever you'd like to direct your clients to, you're more than welcome to do so. And that would help them out as well. Let's see here. We got, oh my gosh, got a couple admits. And sorry, Ken, I missed a couple admits. All right. Yeah. So on your profile page, let's go back to this real quick. On your profile page, again, here at the top, biggest one I wanted to show you is for your reviews. Under the read reviews, if you ever have any reviews that show up, you'll get them pop up in your inbox for your email. You can come look at your reviews here as well, and then you can obviously respond. I've had some sponsors, some classmates jump in there. Check out the reviews. If I want to get more reviews, there's 2 ways to do that. I can either come here and click on ask for reviews, or under my read reviews, click on get more reviews. What that does is it takes me to my custom review link. Nobody else has this link. This link is specific to my business listing and mine only. This is a great link to copy, send that out in a text message, in an email, add it to your Facebook page. And most popular is your email signature. I have folks who will add that to their email signature over here in their emails when they're creating emails. And in this particular case, I'll show you another one I have. Let's see here. We'll delete this. And then I've got another email signature set up for, and there we go. So I've got my, my little email signature, marketing consultant, and then review us on Google. You can grab that icon, add that to your email signature, and then hyperlink your specific URL to your review me on Google or review us on Google. That way, every time you send out an email, you subtly remind your recipients that you do have a Google listing. They can review you at some point, and then clicking on that link would take them right to the review page, and then they can drop you a review for their most recent experience with you. 5 stars, anything specific about you, upload photos. And if someone says they're going to give you a review, support that by giving them a great photo. Maybe there's a picture that you took of your transaction with them. Maybe they have a photo with you. There's nothing wrong with you prefacing that with, hey, if you're going to do a review, let me send you a photo of us, walking through the house before you decided to buy, or maybe it's a selfie or whatever the case may be. Photos go a long way. They say a lot about you, and they get the chance to see you, and have them add that to their review post when they're creating that for you on your profile. All right. It's 2:08. We are doing pretty well. Anybody have any questions? Everyone's been pretty awesome. I don't see anybody having some struggles with it. Yes, Liz, can you go back to how we claim our business page? Yes, it's set up. I set it up, but it doesn't have to be reviewed by Google before it appears. It does. Typically what happens here, let me see if I can go back. 1 second here. From your page here, if you haven't been reviewed yet, it typically shows up right around here. Get reviewed, get verified. We want to click on that verification tab, get reviewed, and follow the process. Now, hopefully, if you've chosen service areas and not a brick and mortar location, you should get a phone number and an easy way to do it. Shouldn't be too tedious for you to get review. But being verified, sorry, not review. Being verified by Google is important because you will not show up. You will not show up until your account has been verified. Verification then allows you to ask for reviews. You're searchable. Reviews can be added to your account, but it all really does stem on you getting verified first. If you have an issue with verification, then I would highly recommend going to the support desk, help and support, and then finding an answer through there. If you do find a situation where you need to contact somebody at Google, they are pretty responsive via email within 24 to 40 hours. There's a live chat down there in the corner. If that's available, by all means, take advantage of that. But unlike Facebook and Instagram, Google's pretty quick about responding to their customers. They've got a great support staff, and they do respond. They don't send you down some rabbit hole of 25 different options when they could have just given you the direct answer. So I found them to be very useful in that respect, because those who've had problems in the past typically have them resolved within a week. So it just really just depends on you going back and forth with them. Liz, were you able to find it? Make sure hopefully you were able to find it. Yeah. So it says it may take 5 days to verify. It can. I've seen it. They do just, what is it? Overpromise, underpromise, overdeliver. They will tell you for up to 5 days. I've seen it go pretty quick, a day at the most to verify. And that's just really just somebody, either a human being scanning it. If you created an account and then change the name within the first hour or two, maybe someone misspelled something, that can slow the process up as well. So that does happen from time to time. Yeah, so just do a check back. Then exactly, check back. You should get an email notification once your account has been verified. But yeah, check back on it, and once a day. I can't see it going more than a few days, because since COVID, it really has sped back up. Now, when I was teaching this class during COVID, there was all kinds of red disclaimers that said, being short staffed, people working from home, limited operation, hours of operation. It did take longer, but we haven't really seen an issue since. All right. I think I've covered the basics of it. There's not much left here. Editing service, Q&A, these are all pretty self-explanatory. If someone wanted to engage your business in a question, they would click on ask a question. I believe others can answer. So maybe someone who may have had experience with that customer or that business would be able to answer. But I would just encourage you guys to, completely fill out your profile. Take advantage of uploading some photos, get yourself some good shots in there, add to it regularly. If you haven't uploaded a photo yet, have your first photo be either a headshot or your logo. I have found that when the photos are uploaded, they tend to aggregate chronologically, meaning this photo was the first photo that I uploaded, so that's the one that's going to show up in my little snippet, which I don't mind, but it's a little funny because everyone's like, "What's with the pose?" So, just the good old days of having people back in class. But yeah, so I've had to delete. I've tried to delete and manipulate, and I ended up having to delete all of them. So we don't want to do that. But if you haven't uploaded a photo yet, a headshot, have it be your logo, to be your lead image, and then fill in the rest with some cool shots. Video, easy to do. You can manage your photos. Even though I can move these around or delete them, I just haven't had much luck with them. But videos are a big one. You can upload videos as well, and especially if you've got a property that you've done a walk and talk for, or you've shot the house, use Google Business Profiles as a way to archive the caliber of your past work, especially if you have a YouTube channel. Again, owned by the same company, often search engines as well. So if you have a listing, it falls off the MLS, you may not have access to that video or photography anymore. Archive all your own stuff, have it live where you are in full control over it. If and when, should you decide to leave West USA Realty, you have full control over all of this. All you need to do is a simple rebrand, and you're back in business and relevant to wherever you're at then. So, but hopefully you won't be leaving. So. Other than that, I think I've covered it all. The same way he's got some crazy questions for me. Tracy says it is easy to manage profile from your.
Is it easy?
Is it? It is. It's relatively easy. They have a Google Business app. Geez, thank you. They have an app here. Hit continue to Keith, and then it'll take you to your information, and you can make edits to it as you see relevant. Yeah, it says Google My Business app is no longer available. Manage on maps. So now they baked it right into the actual map itself. So the standalone app is no longer an option. But that's all you probably can see is white. So yeah, there you go. So you can manage it from within the map when you're logged in. Again, remember that Gmail account you're logged into needs to be the one that's tied to the profile. But once you're in there, yeah, I can see my reviews. Since May, I've had 293 views, not reviews, 17 searches. So I can get an idea of, who's looking for you, check out your photos, and go from there. Yeah.
Well, Keith, thank you so much. I know I'm very overwhelmed. So this was,
yes.
I was sharing with someone, after the 2008, whatever.
Yeah.
And Ed and I were just like, what do we do next? What are we going to do? We got to create business. I'll never forget in 2010, going to a meeting with Ricky Camus. He's a lender. Mm-hmm. And it was all about Google.
Yeah.
So, here we are. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, Google's come a long way. They've always been a search engine. Then they started, providing business listings. They try to get into some social media aspect, but people really liked their Facebook and their Instagram. They weren't really willing to, have a third social media platform. So I think what the compromise was for Google was, let's put a lot of tools into the business listing side of things and give everybody a really robust listing platform, so that when we're creating these businesses, we have photos, we have about section, we have reviews, and that's where we're at now. So just be active.
It looks like an awesome tool for all of us to start using.
It is, absolutely.
They have it already.
Yeah, and of course, if you have any great success stories, horror stories, feel free to share them with me. I'd love to hear about what's working, what's not working for you. And Elaine, thank you so much for the compliment. Appreciate that. It's fun doing Zoom classes. Really enjoy that with you guys. Keep an eye on the calendar. Yeah, let's do it again. I'm glad we got these on the calendar, Tracy. And of course, if you guys think of anything too in the meantime, we'll let you know. Hot, something's not working for you, think it would be a great class, email me. I'm always open.
Okay, awesome. Thank you again, you guys. Everyone have a great rest of your day. I'm sure you'll be getting some emails from okay,
right on. Love it.
Bye everyone.
Bye everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.